Turning on the mic. Mic's on. Let me see if I have it on the tablet now. Yeah, it's on the tablet now. Turning on the mic. Mic's on. Where's Twitch? Twitch. All right.
Wait, which one do you want me to put on this one?
The shorts. I'm putting the front camera.
Yeah. Do you want to use the fan?
Oh yeah, you're smart. Thank you. Put on this side. God, it doesn't stay. All right, guys. Today we got a Y70 customer build. Pretty. It's kind of a little bit different build. It's gonna have for CPU. It's gonna have a Ryzen 9 9950X 3D. For CPU cooler, it's gonna have the TRYX Panorama 360 LCD cooler. One of my favorite coolers that we offer. For motherboard, it's gonna have an ASUS ROG Strix X670E, no X870, sorry, X870. Motherboard. For RAM, he did go with the Corsair Dominator Titanium 64 gigabytes of DDR5 6000 megahertz. For storage, they are going with the Crucial T705 4 terabyte M.2 Gen 5 NVMe. So in total, he's gonna have 8 terabytes of storage in NVMe. For the graphics card, he is getting the GeForce RTX 5090 ASTRAL card. For power supply, he is getting the 1200 watt EG 1200 watt G Li and Li power supply. And then he also opted in to put some black power supply cables just to go with the whole black look. Some people have preference of having like the braided cable or better than the power supply cable. Although I will say the Li and Li cables are braided as well, and they do come with their own comb. So, yeah, pretty nice either way. But for fans, he is gonna go with 3 120 mainly TL LCD fans, and then he is gonna go with 3 non-LCD fans, and then he's gonna go with 1 140 non-LCD Li and Li fan. So the 3 LCD we're gonna be putting in the back here, in the back over here, so you can see them. The 140 we're gonna put it right here. I believe it's gonna go right here, and then we're gonna put the 3 up here for the radiator. So there's gonna be 7 fans in total. In this case, you can put 3 more at the bottom. But the customer didn't go ahead and he only bought 7 fans. So yeah, it's gonna be it should be a pretty easy build just because there's not many cables because of the fans. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started on the build. We'll go ahead and remove the case and get the motherboard and CPU, RAM, and NVMe, all that good stuff set up. So go ahead and get this. the invoice here. CPU, 2 NVMe's, and then the RAM here. All right. Let me go ahead and move the case. Ooh. Got the chat there. Ooh. All right. Let's go ahead and get the motherboard. So he does have an X870 ROG STRIX X870E. I don't know why they did like that EE gaming Wi-Fi. My knife here. What's up, Vexo? Welcome to the stream. Pretty high-end build that we have here. But it's gonna be pretty easy. Not that many cables. Really easy cable management, really easy to assemble. Go ahead. Our motherboard here. Some stickers, pamphlet. Go ahead and give it to the customer. Antenna and more extra goodies in there. All right. What's up, Cheeseburger? Welcome to the stream. Very nice motherboard. Really cool. What I've noticed from I've been working with these motherboards, they did add this little thing here showing you how to remove the GPU once you do have it in there. Since there's no latch here, there's a latch, but you typically have to push it down and then remove the GPU. But in this one, you can literally just slide the GPU out, and it tells you in instructions here now. Before, it didn't have this, but now I guess they're probably getting a lot of questions how to remove the GPU and stuff like that. So I just went ahead and put it on the motherboard to showcase that. But yeah, pretty cool way to remove the GPU. Not having to go through the hassle of either pressing a button on the side here or pressing the latch down. You can just simply tilt the GPU and you'll be able to put it in. Take it out. And then once you put it in, it locks in by itself too. So pretty cool by ASUS how they implemented that. Just removing all the plastic here on this. All right, let's go ahead and start off with the CPU here. All right, we got our Ryzen 9 9950X3D. Perfect combination with our 5090. Slide that in there. Go ahead and open our RAM here. A fractal torrent case for 5090. For an ASTRAL 5090. Fractal torrent. I'm trying to think of what case is that. Because I'm pretty sure the one I'm thinking is like a really small case. But let me look it up actually. Fractal torrent. Oh, okay, yeah, no, there's no way I was thinking of this one. Yeah, I don't see why there'd be an issue with the 5090. You don't think it would fit like lengthwise? You just have to look up the dimensions of the GPU and the dimensions of what GPU fit in that case. And they should give it to you. Most cases typically give you what GPU fits, the dimensions of the GPU length that would fit in that case. What's up, Udox? What's up, Nightmare? Under $400 in a 3070? I mean, what are you gonna use it for? Or what do you typically use your gaming computer for? To be honest, if your budget's $400, I would just stay with the 3070. Because if you want to get like a 5070 Ti, it's gonna cost like I believe like $600-700. Yeah, it's a Y70 touch. Not your regular Y70, it's a Y70 touch. All right. The only thing I don't like is they still implemented the NVMe screw. They should have just done like the easy latch, like this one. It just pops in and pops out and pops in. But for this one, even just to get to like the main ones, I'm gonna remove 4 screws here. But we are gonna put 2 NVMe, so yeah. But I don't like the screws for the NVMe's. Even these 2 bottom ones have it too. There you go. If it creates heat, most likely, but not like crazy heat, to be honest. Nothing crazy. Let's go ahead and put this back on. What's up, Hussein? On to stream. All right. So we got the motherboard done. We will go ahead and put it into the case now. Go ahead and move the case closer over here. Let's go ahead and remove this vertical mount bracket so it's out of our way. Just like that. What's up, Lardo? Can you ask a question? Yeah, go ahead. Ask whatever you want. All right. Let's go ahead and put our screws ready first. So we're able to put in the motherboard of the case. Um, I don't know about FPS, but you will notice a performance difference. Like especially if you're like trying to run like different programs in the background as well, like Spotify, having YouTube open, or like you're doing Premiere Pro and you're doing like rendering and stuff like that, you'll notice like a big difference. Because DDR4 with 3200 with the 1400K and a 47 Ti, yeah, you should be running DDR5 in that configuration that you have there. For 2 GB. And would the difference be a lot? Yeah, you'll notice a difference. Not like, I don't know how to explain it. It won't just be good to upgrade it to it. It'll be more future proof as well. Because everything right now is DDR5. Yeah, and like in gaming, I don't believe you'll notice like a big difference. But like if you're doing like Premiere Pro, rendering stuff, AI stuff, you do want that. You do want that extra RAM and the DDR5 RAM. All right. Yeah, no problem. So we got the motherboard in. Let's go ahead and We're gonna connect all the cables from the case just to get them out of the way over here in the back and can manage a little bit. Just so these could be already a little bit cable managed. So when we start putting the fan cables and stuff like that, these are not in the way. So the LCD little screen here also comes with its own cables. It comes with USB 2.0 and a SATA. That USB 2.0, you cannot put in any splitter. It has to go directly to the motherboard. But yeah, just to keep in mind if you guys ever get a Y70 touch case, just because in the software it won't detect the screen itself, you have to connect it directly to the motherboard. So keep that in mind when you are building in this case, if you are going to be having other USB 2.0s and stuff like that. This motherboard luckily has 3 USB 2.0s. We are going to be utilizing all 3. Yeah. Got the F panel here. Just like that. Then we got our audio. All right. A little issue putting it in because the HDMI cable of the screen itself is like kind of in the way here. Come on. There you go. Just had to move it a little bit out of the way there. All right. Now we got our USB 2.0 from the All right, looks like we got the camera back up. All right, I'm almost done just doing the kill management here. All right, now we go ahead and start putting our fans into the case. Let's go ahead and put these 3 fans in the back first. So we do got reverse LCD fans here. Since they are going to be intake fans. So how are they going to reverse? So the LCD is showing on the LCD fans. Got a controller here. All right. Fans opened up here. Come with a lot of plastic. All right. So these fans do link up together. So they'll be powered. They'll power each other, and then one cable will come out the end that will go to a fan power and then the USB 2.0. All right, let's go ahead and connect them. Just like that. All right. And let's also connect the cable as well. All right. Gonna flip the cable on this so it's oriented the correct way. Gives it a more clean look as well. All right. What's up, Ver? What CPU? The CPU that it has a Ryzen 9 9950X 3D. Ryzen 9 9950X 3D in this build. All right. Go ahead and get our screws as well here. What's up, Brado? I think that's how you pronounce your name. Brado. We do have to remove these little plastic covers that these fans do come with. I always forget that these new LCD fans come with little plastic covers here. All right. Now we go ahead and put them on again. What's up, Alberto? Welcome to the stream. Almost done putting these fans here. Then we're gonna do that side one, and then we'll do the AIO one. All right. So we got these fans in. Let's go ahead and route the cables here to the back. Let's go ahead and look at that 140 TL Unifan TL wireless 140 fan here. I haven't put a 140 on this case. So many I've built. All right. Really big fan. All right. Let's go ahead and put the cable as well beforehand. So these are wireless as well. So you're only gonna need one controller, one wireless controller, which is perfect. So we're not gonna be having multiple different controllers. The cable on this one is shorter. It's pretty weird. All right. Get our screws here. Route the cable. Bring the fan. Remove these huge rubber grommets. Just about right there. All right. Got that 140 get batched up. Welcome to the stream. We got that 140 in. Now we're gonna get our cooler ready here. Our TRYX cooler. Go ahead and get our 5090 out of the way. And get our 360 TRYX cooler in here. Move the case a bit. So there's a 2K 6.5 inch 60 hertz. Screen. All right. We don't need the manual. Oh. I think I move the camera. Perfect. Get that out of the way. We got our cooler. Just go ahead and remove the fans the cooler does come with. All right. Now let's go ahead and get our Unifantil wireless ones here and put them on the cooler. We're not gonna need these screws here today. And we're using the AIO screws, the longer screws, to put them on our AIO. All right. Let's get the cable here as well. It's gonna be put like that. I'm gonna go like this. So on this side. All right. Nope, I do have to flip it as well. All right, let's go ahead and screw them in. Yeah, you should definitely go for AMD. You'll get more bang for your buck. Yeah, and AMD is more for gaming right now. It's better for gaming on a budget as well. All right. So we do have to remove the grommet on both sides, since we are gonna. And we can put them back on after we put the screws. Just to cover the screws up. And this cooler, they do come with like nice silver screws, so they wouldn't even look too bad. Alright, now you can put these back on. Just to cover the screws. Get a little more cleaner look. Alright, now we do need the screws to put it onto the case here. Let's go ahead and get that. And then we're also going to need the bracket as well. Alright, so we got everything here. Gotta get that ready. Remove these manuals from here. And put the cooler in. It's like a nice little spot here. I could route this fan cable here. All right. There we go. Yes, sir, is the white HYTE Y70 Touch with the 5090 ASTRAL um card. All right. Let's go ahead and mount the actual pump to the CPU. We do have to remove the standard brackets that the motherboard does come with. Save the screws because we do have to put our own. The bracket for the TRYX does reuse the screws and puts its own bracket. All right. Go ahead and get these two brackets in, and then we'll be able to mount it on. It's pretty easy to mount on. It tells you what arrow, where it tells you CPU, and then it shows like an arrow, so you know which way to put the brackets on. All right. Now we got our screws here as well. Here a little spring here. I'm gonna go ahead and remove the screen itself, just so that those cables aren't in the way. I'm actually gonna lay it flat, so I'm able to, because you do have to put it. It's like a little spring, and then the screw itself that you do have to put on the little mounting kit here. All right. And the cooler already comes with pre-applied thermal paste. If you do want to put more, they do provide you with more thermal paste to put. All right. Put it on like that. And then we're going to put on the springs here. Just like that. Hand tighten the screws first. So I can get the thread. If I can't get the thread, I'll go ahead and just use the screw driver. Just put a little bit to the next one. Go ahead and start tightening them all. There we go. There you go. Now we can put the screen here. Put the screen just like that. I'm actually going to connect. I'm going to connect the power to the pump. Have a little plastic cover on that. cable over here, and then I'm gonna put the LCD screen. So now we could go ahead and lift it again. Route is USB 2.0. So front over here. Just trying to make it look all nice and clean. And I'm going to zip tie this part so it's nice and tight in the front. Like that. There you go. Connect that USB 2.0 to here. All right. I'm just going to connect this other USB 2.0 from the fans to the front, since it's just one. Then the controller, we're going to be powering it by USB. All right. And then the Lean Leaf fans do come with like the SATA to 3 fan header splitters. So we're going to be using that just to connect all our fans, and it's going to go to SATA as well, since we are going to be using SATA for the for the LCD screen. So might as well just connect these. There we go. Everything is connected. This one through here. All right. Now we're gonna do a little bit of cable managing, and then we can put the power supply in, and then we'll do our extension cables as well, since this customer did order extension cables for his order here. All right. All right. The more zip ties, the better. Can never go wrong with too many zip ties. Try to get that clean look on the back. All right. One more zip tie right here. There we go. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the extension cables first, just so we could just plug in the power supply and then plug them into the extension cables as well. We got our combs here for our cables. Go ahead and just put it on the 24 pin first. All right. Let's go ahead and put our 24 pin in there. All right, perfect. Now let's get our two CPUs in there as well. We got one of them in. Let's go ahead and get the other one in as well. All right, we got both in. Gonna put a little bit less stress on this cable here. There you go. There you go. And then we got our GPU, and we'll save that one for last. Let's go ahead and get our bracket in here. So it looks like we're going to put in the third slot here. There you go. Where did I put that screw? It's right here. We're almost done with the build, guys. We're just gonna need GPU and then power supply. I am gonna put the GPU now. Just so we get the extension cable already into the build. All right, let's go ahead and open up that 5090 Astral card. Move the chat here. Let's go ahead and open it up. There we go. We got the Astral card here. Put this back in here. Close it up. Put this back in the box. We do ship the 5090 separately. So that's where we keep the box. We go ahead and ship out the 5090 separately from outside the case, just in case during shipping it breaks or something. Better safe than sorry. We go ahead and ship it out separately. Just gonna remove all the plastic here from the GPU. All right. Really nice card. Really, really nice card. And then vertical mounted as well. They look really nice. All right. Let's go ahead and get it mounted here. Really, really, really big card. One more plastic here. There we go. Make sure it's seated correctly. There you go. Where's my drill? What's up, Vexo? Welcome to the stream. What's up, Danilo? Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. What's up, the Super Doctor? Welcome to the stream. All right, we got the GPU in. Now let's go ahead and put our extension cable. All right, we got our extension cable in as well. Let's go ahead and put our power supply in. We got a 1200 watt EG1 1200 watt G power supply by Lee and Lee. Cybernetic Platinum 80 plus gold. ATX 3.1. What's up, Spring? Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the stream. What's up, Super Doctor? Why are you saying bro? Am I gonna reply? Pretty sure I replied already. All right, we got our power supply here. What's up, Chelsea? Welcome to the stream. All right. What PC build is recommended for $1,000? For $1,000, we're gonna need like a lower end PC. Probably a Ryzen 5 5600 with like a 4060. Something on the lower end, not too high, which is still not too bad to be honest. What's up, Yusuf? Up to the stream. All right, for this we are going to need our 12-volt high power, 2 CPU, 124 pin, and then 1 SATA. So we got 24 pin there. Not 24 pin, our 12-volt high power. Now we got our 24 pin here. We got, nope, PCIe, PCIe, PCIe. Our SATA right here, perfect. CPU. Logan, what am I doing with the PC? Right now, I'm putting in the finishing touches. I'm putting in just the power supply, and then the whole build should be done already. Putting in a 1200 watt lean power supply in here. So I'm just getting the cables ready, the ones I need, and then the build should be done. Just looking for the last CPU cable here, which is right here. I'm gonna ask, does the compatibility of the CPU and GPU matter? If so, how much out of 10? Yeah, so you don't want to get like a Ryzen like 5 5600 and put it with the 5090. Either or will bottleneck, and then you won't get the full performance of like the 5090, and then you'll just have issues with the computer in general. From a scale of 1 to 10, I'll say highly. It varies, like what you're gonna put and what you're gonna combine. What's gonna be your configuration? But like I said, like something extreme like that, like a 5600 and a 5090, not recommended at all. You're running into more issues than you would think. I would just go either with like a lower end CPU and like a mid-tier GPU. And you should be fine. You don't go with like a lower tier CPU and go like a very high tier GPU. Because you just won't get anything from the GPU, to be honest. Or the full potential of the GPU. You find a 5060 Ti? Yeah, you can find a 5060 Ti. The Super Doctor. That should be good too. What's your opinion on painting a graphics card? Like the plastic parts? Like removing them and putting them on? I know a lot of people do that. Like removing the shell and then just painting it. Yeah, I don't think there's anything bad with it as long as like you're disassembling it and not painting the actual graphics card. with like all like the. It was just like the plastic parts, and yeah, it should be fine. What kind of GPU would you recommend for a $300 build? For a $300 build. Oh, I don't know, to be honest. Do you mean 3,000 or 300? Yeah, it's a good combo. 5070 Ti paired with a 9500 X3D. It's a good combo. All right. Let's go ahead and get our GPU in here. Not GPU, sorry, power supply. All right. Get our screws for our GPU here. Did it not give us any this time? Yes, it did it right here. All right. If I say I want to build a PC completely focused on editing and programming, which CPU and GPU would you install? Depending on what your budget is, to be honest. Because if you were going, yeah, depending on what your budget is. Because even a lower budget, I'll go with like a AMD CPU. Are you gonna be gaming on it as well, or just mainly editing and programming? $600. For $600, CPU, I would go with AMD. AMD, and then with CPU, I'll probably go like a three, like a. I honestly don't know, for $600. It's because I don't want to give you like just like a simple build. Um, I mean $600 just for the CPU and GPU, correct? It's because video editing and programming does take a lot. It's not just like you could video edit and program with whatever peripherals. To be honest, it's just how smooth it's gonna be and how like let's say you have like a 4K 2-minute video. Even just in that, if you have like a lower end computer, it's gonna take you like 5 hours to render. Yeah, it's a little bit different from gaming, to be honest. Because in game you can still get away with like a little bit lower end CPU and GPU and still get a pretty good FPS on it. And then you also have to look into RAM as well as not just CPU and GPU. You also don't want to get like 16 gigabytes of RAM either. At least 64 for video editing and programming. At least 64. Oh, nice, nice. What's up, Super Doctor? You're on Twitch now. Welcome to the Twitch stream. All right, now I'm pretty much finished getting all the cables plugged in. I'm just gonna cable manage a little bit, um, just to make the cables look all nice and tidy here. And then we should be done with the build. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it on so you guys can see how it looks. Like I said, I haven't put or built with the 140 fan on this case, so I do want to see how that looks, because it is a huge case. And to be honest, if you put like a 120 there, it does look kind of small. We recently have also put an LCD screen on the side there on this case, so we have two LCDs. The LCD screen on the side here, and then the LCD screen that the case comes with. And I believe no, it didn't. It didn't have LCD fans, but it did have the LCD screen on the side. That's pretty cool. Nice, yeah. I mean, AM4 is still good. Still, it's just that AM5 is a new thing. But yeah, AM4, you're gonna give it to your son. That's pretty good. Not bad. It's not like it's not outdated still. I mean, it is outdated because there's a lot of AM5 parts already, but AM4 still does the job. Right. Go ahead and finish the kill magic here and the build. Go ahead and just put this stuff away here really quick. All right, let's go ahead and see how the build looks. I'll go ahead and show you guys the cable management as well. This case is really easy to cable manage. Gives you a lot of space in the back. And then with these cables and fans that we have, there wasn't too much to cable manage. But let me show you what we have here in the back. RX 5080. Yeah, damn, my first build I had an RX 5070. 570, sorry, not 5070. So that's the back. Let me go ahead and turn it back around and then go ahead and get this computer booted up. See how it looks with the Astro and that 140 millimeter fan. Hopefully I make sure everything's plugged in correctly. Let's see. Power supply on. Nice. So all the fans are just white standard until you put it into the software itself. Then you go ahead and change it with the L Connect app. Go and turn off all these lights here. Just guys can see how the build looks. Not that much RGB to it, not yet. But yeah, with the Astral card, the 140 millimeter fan looks really nice. Fills in that gap that the Y70 has in the back there. Instead of the 120, with that 120 does look pretty small. I'm going to tilt it so you guys can see a little bit. That 140 millimeter fan. Yep, very nice build, very nice build. Really easy, simple build, just because of the fans and AIO that he chose, and the power supply as well. Yeah, really easy build though. Really nice as well. I really like the 140 millimeter fan here. Really fills in that gap on your regular 120. Are these Lee and Lee fans? Yeah, these are the Lee and Lee. So we got three. We got three TL Unifan wireless. So we got those three on top. And then we got the 140 Unifan over here in the back. And then we got three LCD here in the back here. So he has three different kinds of fans. Same thing, all wireless. These three in the back here are LCD, as you can see. I believe you can't see it because of the monitor. Let me go ahead and turn it back around so you guys can see the LCD screens on the fans here. Yeah, I have seen those fans, and they look pretty good for the price. I believe they're like $15 each, and they also connect together as well. Yes, we got three LCD fans in the back, one 140 on the side there, and then three regular 120s, infinity ones. And then you got your LCD screen for the HYTE Y70 as well, with your 5090 Astral card. And for the cooler, that nice 360 cooler there. One of my favorite coolers. But yeah, guys, that's gonna be it for the stream today. Um, I don't believe we're gonna be having a stream on Friday. Uh, don't quote me on that, but we're gonna go ahead and end stream here. Really nice build, 5090 build in the HYTE Y70. But yeah, if you guys wanna one of your builds to be built on stream, go ahead and customer service know. Once you have placed your order, and we'll be happy to build it on stream here. Hope you guys have a good one.